welcome to the VR Talk Show podcast. I'm your host, AgentReaperVR, and again, my friends. To the left, Passion, the
I'm in a different Abby now.
The vampire bunny hooker. The anthro.
No, you mean the accountant.
I'm gonna put that in my bio.
The accountant.
Yes, the accountant.
The accountant.
Yes, vampire bunny accountant.
You can't even remember from your previous episodes. They're an accountant.
I'll do your taxes. I'll do them real good.
We haven't even gotten through introductions yet, and we're already...
the one drinking the imitation Pepsi Max, Penny.
Oh my
VR.
God, chair.
You still having problems?
Technically, it's just Penny. No, I threw my soda can at them, and it hit the chair and nearly knocked it over.
Physics.
I thought that was me.
Anyway, Pennylicious yes or Penny VR.
And in the bean chair, Nord. Waiting for the fart button to be
I can't
hit.
reach the noise. I can't reach it.
Sorry, can I just say this is the baked bean chair? This is the BBC.
Okay, that's the BBC.
Hold up, wait a minute.
That's what we're calling. We're calling it the BBC chair now. We're calling it the BBC chair now. All right.
That has another meaning too.
Of course,
All
you
right.
know that one.
This is a great intro, isn't it?
It is. And a
You're
newcomer.
gonna have to pay for this content. You're getting it for free.
Yeah, you are getting it for free, so be grateful. And a newcomer, Shock,
Thanks.
who you saw in one of my
Fucking
recent
out.
videos, got super mad at me every time I killed him for being the first person.
Yeah, you straight up was targeting me last time.
All right, the last
If my gun
time
handle
was
works, for God-
was by accident because I don't know, I was
And there goes my chair again.
Karis Yeetus.
going 50-50. It was either going to be you or Nord. I'm kind of glad it was you because then Nord took the fall for it. All right, so in this episode, well, last night, Passion, Shock, and Nord went to a VR strip club, and they are going to tell us their experience with full
Technically, I
body
wouldn't say strip. I'd
dance
technically
club.
say lap dance instead. Yeah, dance,
Yeah.
lap dance, because strip
Like
means
exotic
removing
dancing.
clothes, which none of them they did.
Okay, well, I've
Yeah,
never
yeah,
been
that
to
would
one,
be
so I
better.
can't really
They
say
have
what
before.
it is.
They have before in the past. They have before in the past at this particular club, which Penny is so graciously representing in her group.
Okay, how about this?
Shit.
Clothing optional dance clubs.
Wait, Agent, I just swore you get to use a bleep.
I've been
You're
fucking
editing.
swearing the entire time.
Who gives a shit?
I know, I don't care. Plus,
Why
YouTube
is it I just
doesn't.
imagine
YouTube doesn't
Why
like.
is it I just
As
imagine?
long as it's
Oh,
not
sorry.
within the first, as long as it's not within the first 15 seconds, you're good.
No, they
Okay,
got
can I
rid
do
of
a
that.
really bad joke? Imagine if I started swearing like I go fuck, 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 and then I go fuck. But if you bleep it, it goes beep, 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 beep.
That line.
All right, so
Anyway, go ahead.
all right, so Passion, Nord, and Shock are going to talk about their experience last night in this clothing optional dance club.
Well, Penny's also been there on a few occasions as well, so Penny can attest to some of the stories too.
Screw it. Screw the chair.
Yeetus,
I'll just
delete
float.
us.
All right. So first off, what was the name of the club anyway?
Well, the club that we all kind of go to, Agent hasn't been yet, by the way, and future little preview for you guys at home. Hopefully, if the schedules align, next next time you see Reaper, we'll have taken him through this process, and he will have his own stories to tell about going to this club.
Fresh
Last night
I'm gonna have my nub rubbed.
line up, but but the rest of us here obviously have gone to this club before. So the club is called Fallen from Grace, and it's very sus. And basically, I mean, there are rules in place, but basically, yeah, it's a club where they have various dancers. Sometimes they'll, like last night, they'll do collab events with other clubs. Last night was a collab with Club Nebula. So you'll have the dancers from Fallen from Grace, as well as some of the dancers from Club Nebula, maybe some of their staff there as well. And typically the way it works is like they have the main stage, right? And they have couches surrounding the stage, or like places to sit. And you can obviously go sit on the couches, and each dancer will come out, or sometimes they'll do multiple dancers or whatever, and the host will pick people from the crowd to come up on stage and receive a lap dance. Now they have both male and female dancers at these clubs. And if you aren't picked to be up on stage, don't worry, because the dancers that are not currently dancing on stage will also be out in the crowd, giving some of the crowd lap dances. So I know that for me, I've received a numerous amount of dances. And typically, I mean, it depends on the dancer, really. You know, who decides to actually like completely strip or not. There's only one that I know of that completely strips, and that's Nemo. But
Nemo?
Yes, Nemo is her name, and it's not spelled like the fish, even though everybody makes the touch the butt reference.
Touch the butt. He touched the butt.
Everybody makes the touch the butt reference at her.
It's the butt.
It's inevitable.
Actually,
But
I'm just gonna say
yeah,
it right
so-
now while it's still on my mind. Sorry for
Mhm.
interrupting, Fashion. But
Okay.
I'm just gonna say right now on my mind, Nemo is a very talented dancer. And so from what I can tell, like, I'm an empath, just an FYI. I feel such emotion in her dances, like the way she moves. Like there is definitely a desire to make others happy in the way that she moves.
Yeah, and a lot of the, like I say, a lot of the dancers, they'll dance for free. Nobody's gonna like, all this is completely free. You know, they're not gonna like charge for it. But a lot of the dancers ask for tips, and they have like their Cash App or whatever in their bio, and they appreciate the tips. Sometimes you can pay them for private dances and whatnot. But it's a good experience, I think, especially if you're a lewd boy like I am. But I mean, I think that like the overall focus of this episode is not entirely on the strip club itself. It's more just surrounding like the dark side of VRChat, all the, you know, kind of stuff that goes on under the surface. Is that correct, Agent? Am I correct on that?
This is more of the not wholesome side of it, where you probably see advertisement of
'Cause
people
there's-
playing games with their friends or just socializing at lounge worlds. This is more on the side that doesn't get shown as much.
Can I can I say something?
Go.
Last episode, I referred to VRChat as like my second life. Give me money anyway.
Yeah, this shtick again.
Anyway, okay, but anyway, like I said, this VRChat is kind of like another life, a second life, for example. So even in real life, you've got things that are you've got regular life. Yeah. Let me try this again. You've got regular things that you can do in life. You've got meet up with friends, go to work, have children, get married, all that sort of stuff. But of course, there are things hidden in the shadows that, unless you know how to go to these places or know them, like, if I could say something that isn't a bit wholesome.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this is the non-wholesome episode, so.
Okay. Over here in England, escort work is legal. In America, it's not. Now,
that's
there is
prostitution.
Yes, I was trying to not use that particular word, but yes. There is only
Except in
one
Vegas.
website.
It's legal in Vegas.
There is only one website. There is only one website I know of that, people advertise for these sort of things on, but it's only known once you know where it is. That's it. But it's not easy to find out where it is at first. So that's like going on about the same things as this. VRChat, for example, you can play your games and socialize with people, cuddle if you want with your friends, and then of course once you know where this certain stuff is, then it becomes more available to you, and you become immersed into the world darker side of VR. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even say darker side. I'd just say more hidden.
Yeah, I think that's a more appropriate word
Or
for
exclusive. Or exclusive, maybe.
Yeah, make it fancier.
Well, there is one thing that I think that, yes, I mean, there's you could obviously get together with your friends in real life and go to a strip club in real life, maybe get danced on, and that's all fine and well. But one benefit I think that VRChat has over IRL, especially when it comes to like exotic dances like this, is that because of how we're all avatars, anyone can be anything. You don't have to be, if you're like a patron, you don't have to be, a miserable looking schmuck that looks like they haven't seen the sun in 80 days. Like you can dress up in whatever you want. You can dress up as the hottest dude in the club if you want. And alternatively, that also goes the same for the dancers. As a matter of fact, Nord and Shock, I believe last night, Anju, you guys remember Anju from last night? So Anju was one of the dancers, I believe, for Club Nebula, and when they came out and did their first initial dance, they were in a male avatar, and they were doing male exotic dances. And then halfway through the night, they switched to a female avatar, and suddenly they're doing female exotic dances. And so that way, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your orientation, like, you can be who you want to be. I know plenty of male people who are dancers, and they dance like they've been a woman their whole life. And it's...
You mean like Agent?
What? Also, your chair got yeeted again.
No, that's right there too.
It's,
right?
Well, forget it.
To your right.
Fuck the chairs.
Oh, actually, there is a game for that.
But also, not only not only could you be male or female, but you could even be species.
Yeah, that's
Like
another
the-
thing too. Like for like the furries and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
that one who did that one dance. She was in a wicker beast.
Yep, Nemo. That was Nemo.
Nemo.
She did a solo dance as a wicker beast. Yeah. So.
So there are furry dancers?
Oh yeah,
So far,
absolutely.
Nemo's,
I mean,
the only one
mean-
that I've noticed.
they can really be whatever that they feel like being. I know at the previous club that Penny and I and Nord went to, Shock also went there once as well. They actually had a dedicated furry night where pretty much all the dancers were in furry avatars. I didn't go to that, but yeah, they have all kinds of events, and that does kind of somewhat tie into one thing that I particularly wanted to bring up and hear you guys' opinion on is the when we talk about like the dark side of VRChat, like, let's be real, there are definitely some loopholes that are inherently dark. And it's not like, VRChat is the most completely wholesome place and a completely innocent place that everybody might see it as.
What is this word?
Okay, I think it's
'Cause, like-
more. Okay, think about it this way, for example. VRChat, in itself, the program is just a tool, a platform. What people make inside, that's completely up to them. If they keep it private, like, for example, when there's like lewd avatars or something, they're constantly getting removed all the time. But when it comes to private avatars, VRChat can't touch them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Well, I know that
True.
VRChat does.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, the Avatar world and creators do a good job of trying to separate what they're trying to do, like if it's lewd or not, from the rest of VRChat, so that way not only do they protect themselves, but protect everyone else that's not a part of the world they're trying to create. Because you don't want
believe
someone
me,
under 18 accidentally going into this world and then something happens.
Believe me, the clubs that we go to, they do have some security measures in place. Like, they have security for that reason. And they do, like, kind of enforce that. But in more, like, the grand scheme of things, I know that so many other, like, journalists and reporters, especially when they're looking for shock value, especially, no pun intended.
No pun taken.
I know a lot of them focus on the predator problem in VRChat, which is a problem, and let's not beat around the bush here and act like it's not a thing, because it definitely is. Because there is very kind of, in order to like enforce any of the quote unquote like age rules that these clubs or some of these other like more NSFW worlds that exist, that's all done outside of VRChat. That's all done on like stuff like Discord and stuff like that. In VRChat, there's really not a whole lot stopping someone who's underage from going into these worlds, and it's been widely reported that there are plenty of people who are taking advantage of the children who play VRChat. So I would especially like to hear everybody's take on like the predator problem inside of VRChat.
It okay if I start?
Yeah,
why not?
Okay. In my opinion on the predator thing, VRChat needs to get on top of that, like, pronto.
But question is how?
Would raising the
By
age
simple.
rate up to like 16 or so?
Or something like that.
Because there are plenty
Yeah,
of
something like
kids
that.
that are like under 13 that play this game.
Oh yeah.
And
But the
as
problem
is they can
annoying
lie about
as
their
they
age.
are, yeah.
One time I ran into a 6-year-old playing
For real.
Murder 4.
Oh,
According to their bio,
And see,
6 years old.
And see,
Oh my God.
that's another thing too, is that, I mean, I get it. Being a parent is tough, and a lot of parents these days are super busy. But giving your child completely free reign to something as completely uncensored as VRChat, that's just bad parenting, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And
Not to mention,
is.
I
giving
know
them an
that-
opportunity to have an avatar like this right here,
Mm,
but the NSFW
Yeah.
model. I've seen little kids having this type of model with
mhm.
things.
yeah, I've seen
and
that
there's
before.
nothing
Okay,
in
that's
VRChat
nothing. That's nothing.
to
One time, I seen 3 kids all in NSFW Abbeys in like a public FNAF instance.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sitting there like,
I have
who
two.
gave the children headsets? Who?
Well, that's part of the
who
thing
in
with
their
the
right
quest
mind
is that it's
would with
because
good
the-
sense in mind give children fucking 6 and 7-year-olds headsets.
Well, here's another thing,
And
though.
that's the thing, is that...
Sorry, I'm
go
sorry, I
ahead,
didn't mean to cut you out. But not only is it the parents' fault for giving the kids the headset, but also the person who originally had that avatar that forgot to put cloning off. Because you can clone someone else's avatar as long as that person has the lock off it. If they have the lock on, you can't copy it. But if it's not on, then you can copy it.
Could I say something?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 10 years ago, when television was more of a thing, people used to say that why would parents put their kids in front of a television? And now we're saying the same thing. Then why would parents give their kids a headset?
Oh my god.
To shut them up.
Circle.
And yeah, like, I mean, Penny, you and I both work at a grocery store, right? And I know I see it all the time, where parents will be coming through the line with their kids, and they just give the kid the smartphone, and just say, "Here, shut up and watch this thing on YouTube." And
yeah, I had one kid today. I had one kid today who had the Nintendo Switch. He was about 7 or 8.
I mean, the
Alright,
Switch
now,
is
Yeah,
more
yeah.
towards
Console-
kids, but yeah.
So that's different. That's different. Like Nintendo, they're pretty good with their censorship stuff. But
I mean, I
a
know
headset for VRChat, which is something completely uncensored, like you said. That's a whole other ballgame.
Shock. I hate saying this, but Shock. The Legend of Zelda gaming series is basically, if you dumb it down, is about a white hero killing a black guy.
You're not wrong.
Wait, is it?
I mean,
Wait,
Ganon's
if
black.
it was only black in
Wait,
some
if you
games,
water
other
it down
times
that
it's big.
much, it becomes a white guy fighting a black guy?
Yes!
Oh god.
Well, Demise was.
Did you
definitely
never think of that with the Legend of Zelda gaming series? Or whenever Ganon's in
Demise was
charge?
even black.
I never.
Demise was as black as hell. So yeah.
Thanks
Well,
a lot,
I know
Penny,
that-
you've ruined Zelda for me.
So
I mean,
Zelda
I know-
game
I
is
know
just.
that the
So the
Quest
Zelda
2
series is just one gigantic hate crime.
Like, I know that the Quest 2, like, because of its low cost compared to, like...
Ocarina of Time has an issue with, let's see here, what's the term called? Child labor laws?
Well,
How so?
that's any place.
Anyway, Patchen, what were you saying? Because you've been
Well,
interrupted a couple of times.
I know that the Quest 2, because it's, like, so much cheaper than most other VR headsets, that it's very affordable and accessible to kids. And, you know, I think that, yes, part of it's definitely on the parents for, especially if they're under 13, because that violates COPPA anyway. But, especially, you know, I think it's, in addition to it being part of the parents' job to, you know, regulate what their kids are experiencing online, I think everyone, both kids and adults, could probably agree that VRChat should do more themselves to separate the adult content from the rest of the platform. Because they right now are doing absolutely nothing. There is nothing stopping a little kid from going to like a club like say, I don't know, like FBT Haven or something like that, and seeing shit. Like, there's really nothing stopping them. And that is on VRChat, I think, to fix that.
What do you think they should do to fix it? Like, what, a proof of credit card or something like that?
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
could I
yeah,
make a
go ahead, Penny.
suggestion?
Limiting for people like me. Like, I only have cold hard cash at the moment because I can't get a credit card. Or the reason why is because no legal state ID or anything like that.
Ah.
So that would
Okay.
that would be limiting for me as well.
Well, what about this, for example? And I hate to give Twitter credit. You know how Twitter has this blue tick that you pay $8 a month to have your account verified?
Yeah.
VRChat could do something similar, but not charge it, where they actually send a representative to that club, observe things, and see how things are going, and if they think that everything's suitable, then they can give them a tick, validating them as a legitimate sort of thing, and repeat it every so often. It'd give a few more people a bit more jobs to do. So let's say, for example, a representative of VRChat actually went to, say, one of these strip clubs like, I don't know, Gondos is misbehaving, whatever one's above my head.
Fallen from Grace,
Fallen from Grace.
They attend the event, they see how things are going, how the host performs. They, if the host says something along the lines of, we're checking everyone here, security's doing their job, if you're under 18 or whatever it is, get out, and all that sort of stuff. If they're doing everything right, then they get validated as something official. And then VRChat just, does a checkup every couple of months or something. There's only a finite number of clubs and groups out there anyway. You could probably get it all done in a month.
I mean... Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
Well, I got an idea. So, are you guys familiar with the website called Newgrounds?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
I am.
so Newgrounds, it's a platform where you can either put like your own little videos, your artwork, or
it's like
even
for like anime, like Flash,
or even games
like a lot of
that
Flash
you create.
stuff, right?
Yeah, it's
Like a lot of
Is it
Flash
basically
games,
like a-
animations?
Is it basically like
RIP
Equestria Daily, but less toxic?
It's
I don't think
basically
it's
where people
toxic,
just
but
post their
creations.
people post their like animations and games and stuff like that. It's an aggregate for like Flash content, basically. Like I say, RIP Flash. Flash doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. So, they have this like I don't think it's called a genre thing, but they have something where they have age rating. They have an age rating system. So they rate whatever the content is, like A for adults, M for mature, T for teens, or E for everyone. So maybe if
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Maybe if VRChat did something like that to like maybe every single world, and then no, because then it's gonna have to be filtered out. It's gonna have to be filtered out.
Well, see, the thing is that technically, if you actually read the VRChat terms of service, nothing not safe for work is allowed. Anyway, people still do it, and what happens is that VRChat kind of just turns the other way and pretends not to notice because they know that the adult community inside of VRChat is a very healthy, thriving thing for the game. So even though it's written in their terms of service, hey, no ERPing, no being naked, no lewd clubs or anything like that, they know it goes on and they just kind of ignore it because they know it's good for the game.
As long as it's not in a public world. Like if it's in a private world,
right? That's why
you're okay. But if it's in a public world, you're fucked. Not in a literal sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like your viewers wouldn't realize that fact.
No, I forget who was it that said they hopped into like a open world to go visit a friend, and then all of a sudden they hear like moaning and crap like that going on. And it turns out that their friend was actually fucking someone.
Probably Penny, I would assume. I can't remember.
I don't know who it was. Maybe I just heard it from someone else. But yeah, if you're gonna be doing something like that, was it you that hopped into a friend's world because it was them and someone else, and then you got to the world and you hear like moaning and stuff like that. Oh, all right.
Was it public or was it private?
I think they set up to Friends Plus.
I believe it was Prison Escape. Prison Escape Friends Plus.
So they were reenacting what was actually going on in prison.
Go purr the mouth, boy.
Someone was being someone else's prison bitch.
I do think that VRChat should definitely stop trying to pretend like the not safe for work stuff doesn't exist, because let's face it, it does, and I think they know that it's a very thriving part of the game. But I think, especially for like legal reasons, because they don't want to be seen in the media as, you know, this game that allows minors into this kind of world. So they just say, okay, nothing lewd whatsoever, just to cover their ass legally. And I think that it would be better if we did try to find some way to separate the kids from the adults. I mean, yes, granted, you're still gonna obviously get kids coming in, because I think everyone at some point in their life is guilty of lying about their age when they're a kid to get into places they shouldn't be. I mean, show of hands, who's lied about their age on a porn site before? Really?
I'm not gonna lie.
I actually don't go to many.
Come on, it just asks a question: Are you 18? Are you 18 plus? Yes or no? You're stupid if you click on the no.
And that's what a lot of worlds do, is that they'll just put up something like, oh, like this is only for 18 plus, and a kid can just bypass that. Like it's not hard.
No.
And I think what they need to do is that they need to just realize and say, okay, yes, we acknowledge that there's a lot of people being freaking lewd in this game, and instead of pretending like they don't exist, instead of trying to punish them for it, we need to implement systems into the game that will allow for this type of content for the people who want it, and also keep people out who don't want to see it or who are not old enough to see it. Penny's getting comfortable.
Yeah.
I know, Penny's just trying to block my way.
Oh.
Oh my. When we said this was not a wholesome episode, Penny, we didn't mean like this.
Jesus, Penny.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
There we go.
There we go. Now we don't have to worry about space. Please continue. Please continue with a serious conversation while I'm lying on your desk.
Like the platter before you?
Smack. All right, Nord.
Oh my.
Nord, what's your experience with? We kind of got a little bit off track, but you know, it does play a part of this.
It does.
Content.
Yeah, it is content, but yeah, go ahead, Nord. Give us your insight of last night.
No, my chair. Well,
Nope,
I
your
ended
chair
up
again.
leaving early because I had some tooth pain, but during my time there, there's fairly Quest. Not many people get working with the Quest people. You know, like not having per se Quest compatible avatars.
Well, Patchen was actually telling me about that.
Yeah.
So, they did tell me that you did receive the dance. What was in your view, what was their avatar? Was it the floating
Little
robot?
Japanese kid. Little Japanese girl.
It was a fallback avatar? Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, no. And it had to be that avatar too.
Oh, God.
Oh.
No.
The Japanese
Why?
schoolgirl.
sorry.
No. Oh my God. That.
Oh, and I made it
oh,
worse by
God.
saying it was hot. Oh,
Oh,
dear
What
God.
the fuck? No, you can't say that.
Hey,
Well, for me, it wasn't
my
the
God.
same Abby.
So,
hey, can I just say, while you guys were there getting your dances and calling Japanese schoolgirls cute, I had an entire group of white characters in my D&D game killing Ganon. 6 of them.
all right. So, if you're
Dungeons and Dragons.
if you're new to VRChat, the first thing you do is pick an avatar, and the small anime girl is one of them, and that's usually a fallback character. Unfortunately, when a PC user appears for a Quest user, sometimes the Quest user has to activate the PC user's avatar. A lot of times, that PC user is in a PC only avatar, so to a Quest user, it'll be a fallback character. Like,
Selected at random.
yeah, you can actually pre-select it, but
select it.
yeah, it can be
Yeah.
selected. One of them is that this one, right?
Oh, God.
Nord, was it this one?
Oh, is it that
Wherever,
one? Please tell me it wasn't that one.
was it that one? That makes
I
it.
turn-
Don't make me feel worse than I already do.
How can I turn? How can I turn on the Avi? I have it queued up.
So if you select someone
I
and then you
don't think-
click
I don't
on
think you
the
can-
It
Oh,
was
there we
this
go.
one.
that one.
Oh, no.
That's not as bad as this one though. This one is much
Well,
worse.
This is the thing though, is that a lot of the
No,
a lot
get
of the
outta here.
dancers, like, they have multiple
outta here.
avatars. Penny. A lot of the dancers, like, have multiple avatars. So I mean, if they find someone who is Quest, usually they'll switch into a Quest compatible avatar. But I think in Nord's case, they didn't realize he was Quest and forgot to change. But because wasn't it that same dancer, I think, who danced for Nord that danced for you later in the night, Shock? And they changed into a PC avatar, a Quest avatar. So,
Yep, they did.
so yeah, I think the reason why a lot of them are PC is because basically I mean, there are some dancers out there that work with just the half body, which is just basically the headset and controllers, half body VR.
Yeah, like all of us
But
are.
a majority of them are in complete full body. And in full body, primarily full body's on PC. You can technically get it on Quest with some workarounds, but majority of full body users are going to be in PC. So that's why there tends to be a little bit of a PC bias when it comes to the lap dance events.
Yeah, but I still feel sorry for you, Nord. It must have been so awkward.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
especially
I mean,
after
I sent you pics of what they
especially after I
actually
got a
looked like.
message from that one saying that they're basically riding my.
They were though.
Wait, you what?
They fucking were
You
though.
what? You what?
Hey,
What?
they were not a lolly for me, okay?
Of course, you're on PC and you saw their avatar, and they were probably an adult with barely any clothes on.
They
with an
were.
ass that's jiggling like crazy.
Yes, and poor Nor only saw a lolly.
Oh. I mean, if
Oh,
it was
God,
just
I can't imagine what that must look like in full body doing
it
what
was-
she was doing.
if
I
it was
can't
just
imagine
like
the trauma you went through, Nord.
it was just a floating robot with the
That's really
hands,
fine.
it wouldn't
It's just
wouldn't be
weird.
that bad. But oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to the club, it like I say, it depends on the dancer. most of them I think
Depends on
don't
the
get
night.
naked. The only one I've seen, the only one I've seen that actually gets completely naked, like I say, is Nemo. But in the case of what happened last night, actually, I had a first for something for me that happened last night, which I haven't done before. So, they have a majority, like a bunch of rules, right, in the club, like, got to be over 18, don't spam emotes, this, that, and everything, performance-related stuff. But one of their rules is don't touch the dancers, right? Because, I mean, that's generally a rule in most clubs, both IRL and in VR. Just don't touch the dancers.
No, it's all clubs. You cannot touch them at all.
Right. But they say don't touch unless you're given permission. Well, nobody's ever given me permission before. So, last night, when we were at the club, there was one dancer, I think it was Small Kitten, if I do believe was her name. And she starts dancing for me. I'm sitting in the crowd, right? And halfway through the dance, she just kind of stops and holds out her hands like this. And I'm like, what? But so I put my hands in hers. She turns around and proceeds to make me grab her ass.
Nice.
Nice.
And I just kind of fucking like, oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, so I was totally fine with it. I wasn't like, it wasn't crossing a boundary for me or anything, but I mean, it was the first time any dancer has been like, yes, you can touch me. Which was kind of a shock.
Question: do you think someone with Phantom Sense would have a better time at one of these clubs?
Yes.
Why don't you ask Shock about that? He has Phantom Sense.
I did not know you had Phantom Sense.
Yep, I have it all over. Actually, there's actually a little bit of a story behind how I got my Phantom Sense. You see, basically, in one of my groups is a thing called Hypnosis Furs. Basically, I met this one person who does hypnosis sessions. So I got curious and asked if she could do a hypnosis session with me to give me Phantom Sense. She said yes and put me under right on the spot.
For real?
For real. Next thing I know, when I snap out of it, boom, Phantom Sense.
I always thought you had to develop it.
last night?
Now I know that people have to be hypnosis to get it.
Well,
Actually,
in a way,
that's just
in
one
a way,
method.
it is
That's
the same
just one
thing.
method to get it. Some people have it naturally. Actually, other people just develop it just simply by playing. I simply took a shortcut and used hypnosis.
And what would you describe
It's
the dance last
honestly-
night with, from the perspective
Honestly,
of
it's
having
more
Phantom
like
Sense?
hypnosis speeds up the learning process.
Huh. But yeah,
I guess you could say
what?
that.
How
But,
was the experience?
In terms of the dance, I would have to say a little overwhelming. I mean, there was a couple of moments where like the dancer got really, really close to my neck, and that made me panic a little. So I just go like, please don't bite it, please don't bite it, please don't bite it, please don't bite it, please don't bite it.
I mean, it's like, for example, one dancer that I used to know of was his name was called Foreskin, Four, not FOR. And his avatar, when he danced, he liked to use knives. Now, I don't think he actually touched me with any of them, but
Yeah, he used knives and guns in his dances. Not to mention, he would also do color changes.
Was this I Carumba Bart?
All right, ladies, prepare to be blown away by Bang Bang Bart.
You're fat! Just more made of love, honey.
he did used to wear a hoodie sometimes.
No, you never saw that Simpsons episode where someone had like a future vision of how Bart was gonna be, and he was like a male stripper, and he comes out with like cowboy boots, a thong, and like fake guns, swinging his head and then firing it. Says, "Don't hate me because you love me."
I have one thing to say to that.
Go ahead.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
All right.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. All right then.
All right, so continue. With your knives and gun thing.
Basically,
Oh no, yeah,
No,
we're
I was
on
just
Shock.
adding to
I
that.
thought he was talking to me.
Sorry, I thought there was more to Penny.
Okay, yeah.
No, go ahead, Shock.
Basically, like, it felt like as if I was like actually there. Phantom Sense basically just adds to the immersion. Like, yeah, I actually felt like the few couple of times the dancer did touch me, and they were like,
Did they touch your no
I
square?
honestly don't know how to describe it.
Isn't it the point of a lap dance?
But I didn't complain.
I mean, yeah, they touched Nord's no square a lot.
No, we're not going back to the fallback avatar thing. No.
I mean, yeah, you'll see when you get to your dance agent. They get pretty all over you, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
You know, because
I wouldn't know.
because
Like they'll actually get in your lap position wise.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
here's a funny thing.
Oh yeah.
I've actually never been to a strip club IRL.
Neither have I.
Same.
Really?
Neither have I.
Wait, I would have thought you would.
We're all degenerates
Me?
who play VRChat. What did you think?
Well,
I may look like a strong independent.
Do you think?
I
do you
would-
think
I
you
mean,
look like to go out?
Yeah.
We're fucking vampires
Well, you told
most of the time.
well, you told me something like
I
months
feel
ago,
like
but I'm
Warwick
not gonna
described
repeat
me
it.
better. I'm nice and cuddly until you piss me off.
Was that the glory thing?
No, that's something new.
Wait, what?
Another conversation, another time.
Yeah. we're not talking about IRL no more. All right.
Alright, I thought we were.
Though they do
okay.
have those things in VRChat, I think.
So
Oh, yeah.
on a previous episode of the podcast, I talked to Mr. Survivor, and he wears a haptic suit. You think that will actually add to the immersion of these dances?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have Phantom Sense,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yes, if you don't have Phantom Sense. I mean, obviously, it's not gonna quite feel the same, I think, as Phantom Sense because of the technology of the haptic suit. Because all the haptic suit can do is vibrate.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna quite feel like being touched much like Phantom Sense would. But yes, if you were in an avatar that supported like the haptic vest and you had the haptic vest on and the dancers were touching you in that area, yes, it would activate your haptic vest and it would absolutely add to the immersion.
And no, I don't think the creators of the haptic suit are gonna make. Well, maybe they make a full body one, but I don't think they'll put anything near down there for you to feel. I mean, it will
I
probably
don't
feel
know.
pretty
To be honest,
weird,
I find that a
like
little
to simulate
bullshit.
the feeling of you getting shot in the ass. I can only imagine how it will feel having your ass grabbed.
I mean, hey, porn is one of the leading industries in new technology.
Doesn't it make like
This is true.
like 65% of the internet anyway?
Oh, probably more than that.
Yeah, probably is.
I would
Yeah,
assume way
probably
more than that.
All right.
Why am I suddenly thinking they're going to be making that technology from like Hot Tub Time Machine 2? The little pad?
Well,
I haven't seen that, so
Have
I
you-
can't.
Okay, so
I don't really know.
Okay, so basically in Hot Tub Time Machine 2, they go forward to about year 2025, and they have these, like, pads that are opaque, like you can see through them. They have a hole in them. They have two sliders, one for tightness, one for Width.
Mm-hmm. I see where you're going.
What you
with
just
it.
said about
Continue.
technology and porn.
Yeah,
Oh,
I get it now. I didn't see the movie, but I'm getting it. But yeah, so you know these VR like expos that they have?
Sorry. You mean like the
There's-
conventions?
The expos, conventions, just to show off the technology.
We're like yeah, like CES stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think it was like, and this kind of gives like VR like a bad rep because it's people, like you said earlier, for shock value. What was it? It was last year. You remember the video clip of some guy dressed as in a My Hero Academia gym uniform, them having the VR goggles on, and then humping this like half body balloon thing?
I did not watch that.
I will say, if we're
Oh,
on
yeah.
the topic of like technology and how it like connects to like VR and then the adult industry, it used to be where you could, of course, there's a whole full like ERP scene or erotic roleplay scene in VRChat too. There are groups dedicated to that as well, that both Penny and I have gone to, as a matter of fact. And we don't go to them really anymore. I mean, it was kind of mid. But anyways, like they'll have these groups where people just, that's all they do. They get together and they bang. And that's pretty much all the group is. But it used to be, before the easy anti-cheat update, thank you for that, by the way, that there was a mod that you could install into VRChat that would connect to your Lovense adult toys, which are referred to as teledildonics, which is basically using combining the world of sex toys and telepresence, stuff like VR or AR, voice over internet, stuff like that. And yeah, it used to be where you could literally sync up your high-tech sex toys to VRChat and add immersion that way. But thanks to the easy
Jesus.
anti-cheat update, that no longer works anymore. So yeah, you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. But that used to be a thing as well.
Sex, the driving force of technology.
I have to get going, so if you want to continue without me, you can just cut me out like I was never here.
Well, is there anything else that you guys want to add, or should we just end it like right here?
I think I've pretty
this
much
might be
said
a good
everything.
place to cut it.
All right.
I have nothing really left.
By
to
the
talk
way,
about.
we'll have a part 2 after we take Agent to one of these clubs, and he'll be able to speak for himself.
Yeah,
About what he
this
experienced.
will be part 2
Yeah.
of this podcast, so I can give my insight on it. And hopefully, maybe we can actually get a dancer and get their perspective on this.
Lap dancing, an Agent Reaper VR documentary.
Why the fuck not?
I think we can pull some strings, see if that can happen. We got connections, right, Benny? We got connections in the club. We might be able to make that happen.
Yes, we have some connections.
I mean, if
All right.
I'm not gonna ask him to
Sounds
like
good.
actually to dance. If they want to, they can, just to show off their skills. But people who are listening on Spotify is not gonna be able to hear
You
how
just
they're
hear
dancing.
freaking Agent moaning over Spotify.
No, that's not gonna happen. All right.
Picture that. That'd be hilarious.
No,
You're not like that one guy who was at the event last night.
Oh, Narf.
Squeaker.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Squeaker. The guy was squeaking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
Yes.
see. You'll see when you go.
Oh, that kind of reminds me
You'll
of
see what that's about.
Yeah, there's a regular.
Remember,
there's a regular up there.
Tomo from
Whenever he
the,
gets called
comedy
up
club
there,
event?
He makes such a weird. Squeak.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Tomo was fucking a rubber chicken because every time they laughed, it sounded like they were fucking the rubber chicken.
Not wrong.
All right, so that's it.
And that's where we'll end. Fucking a rubber chicken. That's
Yes,
how we're ending the
that's
show.
how we're ending the show.
Hang on. What's your podcast called again?
It's a VR talk show.
VR Talk Show, sponsored by Fuckable Rubber Chickens.
I mean, why do you think it has that
They
big
squeak
open
in
mouth?
pleasure.
Fucking, we're just making it worse.
I'm over here dying.
Are fleshlights these days too small and can't fit your dick? Do you prefer the sound of squeaking to squelching? Well, the Fuckable Rubber Chicken is the product for you.
Oh my god, I gotta get out of here.
Oh,
Now watch
jeez.
someone actually try to make that.
Oh,
I swear to God.
I'm pretty sure
Okay,
someone has.
If someone makes that, I'm suing them. I'm suing the shit out of them.
Why
that
you
should not
suing-
exist.
And here I thought you were gonna say,
Copyright
I thought you were gonna
Some
say, give me
copyright
one.
We made it first.
Yeah, that was our idea. We deserve the royalties for it. Right? Alright, that's it.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, Rubber Chicken... Yeah, let's just say the goodbye. Let's not continue
Yeah,
with
let's not
this anymore.
Find out more about our rubber chickens next time.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoy the show.
Unless we break out into song. Fuckable Rubber Chickens, yeah! That's all, folks.
Oh, God. This is Passion doing the Cabbage Patch.
Yes, you're gonna get DMCA'd.